This is the 17th edition of Lockdown Mantras. And at this stage, we are either praying for this pandemic to end or feeling lost and defeated at the way things are going. Through all such dark and unsure moments of my life, there was one person who always assured me that better days are coming with his simple words. Saramilla mole, potte. Just take it easy. Just ignore it. These were my father's mantras for all difficulties that came into our lives. Today, it will be 180 days since he left us. My brother Joe keeps count of the days because his absence is so noticeably felt in our lives. Anyone who has lost a parent would know that feeling. It just doesn't go. It swallows you at times and fills you up at times. Not a day goes by without thinking of them. August 1st is the most important day of our family. It is Papa's birthday. I wanted to write about him on that day, but a phone call just completely tossed up all the words that had been playing in my mind all day. A friend needed an explanation, but we spent more time going round in circles with no solution. We have all become like that. We spend more time trying to convince the other person than to listen to his or her voice. And that's one trait I admired about my father. He was a good listener who was never judgmental. You could tell him anything from your teenage issues to your teenager's issues. He had a word of comfort for each phase of our lives. There are a million things we admire about Papa. Papa was the eldest son of his family and took his responsibilities at a very young age. He never grudged or whined over it. Even when he was hurt, he never had any grudge to anyone. He just silently took it all in. You never really know what's running in his head. That trait he passed to both my siblings, who silently suffer all the hardships in their lives. I take it after my mother. Both of us are like firecrackers. We have to let the steam out. Papa studied only up to pre-university as he had to take up family responsibilities by then. But that was never a deterrent for him. He enjoyed learning all his life. A self-taught man, he was always game to learn anything new. From designing homes to learning how to use a smartphone, he enjoyed every bit. And here I am, whining about learning online tools to teach. He was a health freak and enjoyed sports. His trophies adorn our living room. Till 60 years, he used to play badminton. As the court was too far away when we shifted our home, he took to the next best thing, walking. He was never idle and was very conscious about his health and weight. By God's grace, he never had any major health issues. So when he sees us children gaining weight, he used to chide us saying, "Nee ninte amme pole ആകാനാണോ ഇരിക്കുന്നത്?" And we would promise to exercise. Relationships were very important to him. He used to say, "മോളെ ഒരു നിമിഷം മതി ഒരു ബന്ധം മുറിക്കാൻ. ഒരു ആയുസ് വേണം അത് നിലനിർത്താൻ. നീ എപ്പോഴും അത് ഓർക്കണം." He always made it a point to visit all his relatives and friends whenever he got a chance. All of them knew us and we were proud to be called Achagunjindem Remaniyudem Makkal. Their bond was so unique and strong that we are proud to be their children. I don't think we would have wanted it any other way. His faith in God was so strong. It was what kept him going through all the ups and downs, through all the hurts and joys, through all the defeats and celebrations. Every day, he used to end his prayer with, "Devame, Sugamaranam Taraname." As a child, I used to wonder why he said that. As I grew up, I realized that he accepted the inevitable death and never shied away from that reality. When he passed away, we understood that even that prayer was answered. In the silence of the night, without troubling a soul, without a cry or a struggle, he left in peace. He was taken at a time before lockdown or quarantine became part of everyday language. I could go on and on because when you love someone, you can never stop talking about them. On first, Papa would have been 88. Last August, I went to celebrate his birthday a day earlier. On July 31st was Karkadavav, and I went with my boys to Trivandrum. We cut the cake and enjoyed ourselves, never knowing that it would be the last. I clicked a few pics before I left and I captured one with him hugging me. That tight hug of his was so special, and everyone who has got that hug know what I mean. He may not be there with us on earth, but he is everywhere. He is our guardian angel, under whose wings we will continue to take comfort.
Papa was a man I truly adored, for the sense of persona that was in him always, and the father figure others were envious about. Truly devoted to God and all the prayers he did day and night for all those who were close to him both near and far. He made sure we knew all our next of kin from both sides of the family. He made sure we were all well looked after, as he had a plan for each of us, including himself. He was an avid collector of meaningful things like letters and photos. He always led a simple life and didn't want any extraordinary gifts. He loved flowers, and that was what kept him going till the day he went. I'm not sure if I can be a father like him, but I'm proud to have called him my dad. Happy 88th birthday, Papa. We love you.
What can I say about my father? As a child, growing up in a boarding school, I used to long for a weekly or monthly letter writing sessions. I would pour out my heart, my worry, and all my doubts to him, and I would expect to get an answer for everything I asked in his reply. As I grew up and started my college life, I remember him standing one day at my hostel entrance, waiting just to see my excited cry of joy on seeing him. And we spent a whole week roaming all over Kerala, visiting many relatives. But the only thing I remember and treasure to this day is that I got him all for myself for a few days, and it was just heaven. As I started my post graduation, he patiently trained and imbibed into me two very important skills that I always pride myself in excelling, and for which I've always got surprise reactions and praise. Maybe they don't expect it from a lady. The first one, the skill that I learned from him, was driving a car like him, with a relatively good speed, but with a steady hand and good command of the machine and the road before me. The second skill I learned from him was typing just like him, and he had me sit for days on his old typewriter till I got my typing skills right. And now, even my students and colleagues are surprised at my typing speed without even looking at the keys on the keyboard. As I started my work and my married life, I used to enjoy our phone conversations and my visits home. He would always be inquiring, encouraging, and pushing me ahead to do more in my life. And when my kids were born, he would be coaxing and guiding me to be a better mother, and he enjoyed all his little moments with each one of them. When I went through some moments of confusion and letdown in my life, he would console me and remind me to be strong. And his words and his warm hug was what got me through some of the toughest situations in my life. But now that he is gone, How I miss his smiling face, hearing his soothing and encouraging voice, smelling his earthy fragrance, feeling his all warm hug and his presence. How I wish for one more day just to be with him again.